Hey everyone, it's Minty, and a lot of you have been asking me how I draw bodies, so that's what I'm going to show you today. Quick disclaimer, it's not really a tutorial since it's just my process for my own art style, so it's probably not going to be completely anatomically correct at all, but I do hope that it will help some of you. I always start off with a circle for the head. It doesn't matter if it looks more like a blob because it's just a base. Then I draw a line through the middle going down and out of the circle a little bit to show where the chin will go. And then I connect that to the circle and then you've got your basic face. I think this is a pretty popular method. Once I've done all that, I usually draw 2 lines for the section where the eyes will go, but don't worry about that since this video is more focused on the whole body and not just the face. To draw the neck, it's pretty simple. All it takes is 2 lines, and I usually do the neck a lot smaller than the face because I like the heads to be a lot bigger, but that's just my art style. You can do that however you want. For the shoulders, I do 2 lines connecting out from the neck and they go a bit past the head, and then after that I make some basic shapes for the body, which is this kind of blob shape, I don't know, and I do about a finger space between that. Obviously it depends on the size of your drawing. And once I've got that basic shape down, I can use it as a base so that I can outline the body, as you can see on here. And I do the waist. I tend to do the upper body a lot smaller than it should be in real life. I don't know, I think that long legs just look pretty cool on my characters. From there, I extend out from the waist and I make another shape, which is an irregular pentagon, if my maths is serving me right. I think that's what it's called. And then once I've got that shape down, that's going to show where the legs start, and on the sides I just curve downwards to make the top half of the leg. Something I forgot to mention is the fact that this is a really basic pose, and hopefully when you're drawing in your own art you're going to be doing a bit more exciting poses than this, and obviously you can't do this method for everything if it gets a little bit more complicated, but right now I'm just going over everything that I've already done, defining some edges and making everything a little bit darker, making sure that I like everything that I've already drawn, and if you don't, just rub it out. It's pretty simple. But if you like to draw the shapes first, maybe at the end of this video you can pause and look at my sketch, and you could try doing those shapes first if you wanted to try, and then adding the details after, but this is just what works for me. Now with the legs, I actually ran out of space to draw the feet, but hopefully you can see where it's going. I used a couple more blob-like shapes, a bigger one for the top half of the leg and a thinner one for the end of the leg. This works a lot better than just doing straight lines for your legs because the 2 shapes make a bit of a dip in the middle, and that shows that they're actually legs and you can bend them and they're not just, blocks. You may have noticed that this character still does not have arms because I usually do that last. And a quick warning, the arms on this character did turn out looking kind of odd, mainly because of how stiff the pose is, and also I had to draw from a really awkward angle. But I think I can explain the whole process anyway. It's pretty similar to the legs. What I do is do the same sort of shape, but on a smaller scale, and the top half of the arm ends around the waist, and then I just attach the second half, which is pretty similar, but it goes thinner at the bottom so that we can add on the hands. And oh, the hands, what a nightmare that was to draw. Usually I'm okay with it, but I don't know, the stress of sketching on camera just did not help, and every time I drew them, yes, I drew them a million times, they turned out looking freakishly weird, but we can ignore that. We all know the struggle of hands, and hopefully yours turn out a bit better than mine did. And now we have footage of me rubbing the hands out and drawing them back in again. I had to cut out about a minute of this from my video, which is pretty annoying. Usually the hands don't actually turn out as bad as this, but it's okay, we all struggle, as long as you don't hide them and run from your responsibilities, as Sam Desarts would say. And I'm just adding a couple of clothing items. I gave her a top and made the clothes go a little bit off the skin because they're never going to be completely glued to you. Then I drew some denim shorts, and you may be wondering why I didn't give a face. It's just because I think I could make a separate video talking about the face, which is something a lot of you have asked for, but I hope that this body tutorial was helpful. Even if you have a different style, I hope you enjoyed seeing my process. Now that that's done, it's time for shout outs. So here are the shout outs, and remember to comment this emoji since you watched the whole way through. Maybe you can get a shout out in the next video. Bye!